So you may be wondering what options you have to recover a judgment or a loss if you've been defrauded, if you have a lawsuit. And many times the best course of recovery comes from third parties or from insurers. And here's how that works. Here's a great article from the Wall Street Journal talking about how Wells Fargo isn't doing enough to police customer crimes. What they're talking about here is the bank is being sued in some cases because it failed to detect alleged Ponzi schemes. What happens is when a Ponzi schemer or a scammer is taking money from customers, or from victims, I should say, they have to put that money in a bank. And many times the bank where the money's going into did not perform enough due diligence when they opened the account or enough to monitor the activity to see that it's a fraud. It's very easy to use analytics and reviews and audits on a bank account to show this is a scam. If there's certain patterns of money coming in, certain types of corporate activity, it's easy for the bank to see the scam. You can't see that whole bank account and all the activity, but the bank can. It's very simple to determine by a pattern of activity if a bank account is being used for a Ponzi scheme, right? It's an easy pattern to detect. When a bank does not do it, they can be identified as a third-party enabler and have what's called vicarious liability. Again, we're not attorneys, we're not giving you legal advice, but this is a way to collect from a third party. If that scammer, that fraudster disappeared into thin air and there's not enough money to go around to pay back the victims, you look at third parties in order to make you whole as a victim. And many times the bank is the first type of third party you're going to look at. In the very famous Scott Rothstein Ponzi scheme case in South Florida back in the 2000s, Scott Rothstein was actually an attorney who ran a huge Ponzi scheme. And one of his banks, TD Bank, was actually forced to pay back the victims because Scott Rothstein had spent a lot of the money. So look at this third-party liability. And this article came out just this week is another example where this is still a thing. Don't overlook third parties. Another way you can look at for recovery of a judgment on the legal side is insurance. It's called judgment preservation insurance. It's a risk management option. What does that mean? Let's say you sue somebody and you get a judgment or a default judgment. That doesn't give you the money in your pocket. You sue somebody for $1 million, you win, and you don't walk out of court with a check for $1 million. A lot of times you have to collect the money, or the person will they'll appeal the judgment. They'll try to negotiate the judgment. Because of the fact that you need the money and you're not sure what's going to happen, sometimes you'll settle for less. You can actually purchase what's called judgment preservation insurance from an insurance company. And the insurance company will look at the case and say, yeah, you have a good chance of prevailing. You'll get your money. It may take a while, but now you have this insurance that will give you more leverage to stand your ground with that defendant to say, no, you have to pay me all the money. What happens is, if you somehow lose on appeal, the insurance company still pays you your money. If the court knocks down your verdict to say, no, the person only owes you $600,000, they pay you the $600,000, the insurance company pays you the difference. So depending on the nature of your claim, look at these two things, judgment preservation insurance, and also look at third-party liability to make sure you don't lose out on a valid claim against a third party that has defrauded you.